we always invite local clergymen to come in and lead us in prayer. This morning, we were scheduled to have Senior Minister Todd Jefferson of Milford Christian Church here. I understand he's not here this morning, and we all can understand that. I mean, this is obviously a trying time to be able to go from place to place, and obviously he probably has a lot of duties at his church. So I'll stand in for him this morning. If you feel moved to participate in prayer, please bow your heads and join me. Lord, we thank you for another beautiful day as we get ready to start this Clermont County Commissioners meeting. We ask that you bestow your wisdom upon us as we get ready to make the decision in this county. We ask that your hand be with us, that you would guide us in those decisions, that the Board of Clermont County Commissioners can do what is needed to further move Clermont County to a better and safer place to live and work. Lord, we just ask now that you be with those who are first responders today, those EMTs, firefighters, sheriff department, local police agencies. We ask that your guiding hand be with them and that you join them safely with their families this evening, safe like they came to work. Lord, we just ask that you be with those who are in the armed services of the United States who are protecting our freedoms today. Lord, we ask that you join them at the end of this day, keep them safe, and that they may be returned to their families at the end of the day. We just ask now that you be with us during this meeting, be with the citizens of Clermont County, heal those who are ill and afflicted and who could not attend this meeting this morning. We ask in your Son's precious name, Jesus' name. Amen. Now, if you join us for the Pledge of Allegiance, we'll officially start the meeting. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to the Clermont County Board of Commissioners meeting this beautiful day, August 12th, 2020. And we will move right on with the agenda that's been prepared for us. The meeting's been called to order. And B, we have approval of regular session minutes of August 5th, 2020. Board, I know you've had these minutes early, had the opportunity to review them and had any questions or clarifications made. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes of 8/5/2020?
Move to approve the minutes.
A second.
Been moved and received a second. Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Humphrey,
Aye.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes. C on our agenda is a consent agenda. Board, I know you've had a consent agenda early and had the opportunity to review it and to have any questions or clarifications made. Are there any items that need to be removed from the consent agenda prior to us considering it today?
None.
None.
Hearing none, I'd ask a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Humphrey,
Aye.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes. Before I move on to D, I will move item H up and ask if there are any county staff elected officials today for discussion or any updates on the current pandemic that we're experiencing.
Julianne is unavailable this morning.
Okay. Sorry, Julianne couldn't be with us here this morning, but I'm sure she will join us next week and give us an update. I'll move on to D for non-consent agenda. Non-consent agenda starts on page 2 with item number 3. The recommendation that the Board of Clermont County Commissioners adopt resolution number 134-20, resolving to approve payments and vendors in the total amount of $1,971,618.71 as set forth in the BCC approval invoice report for the checks dated August 12, 2020, BCC directed prepaid invoice reports and or procurement card transaction report as presented by the county auditor on August 10th, 2020, and further authorizing the county auditor to issue warrants for the same pursuant to 319.16 of the Ohio Revised Code. Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
A second.
Been moved and received a second. Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Humphrey,
Aye.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes. Item number 4.
This is Tina Pocock with Clermont County Children Protective Services. There is a recommendation of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to authorize Timothy Dick, Director, Department of Job and Family Services, to execute an Ohio Department of Job and Family Services ODJFS Title 4E Child Placement Agreement and addendum thereto, consisting of amendments numbers 1 through 3. by and between the County of Clermont, Ohio, and Youth Villages Girls Center for Intensive Residential Treatment, 7386 Memphis Arlington Road, Arlette, Tennessee, 38135, for the provision of residential treatment services for a specific child referred by the Department of Job and Family Services and/or Clermont County Juvenile Court at no cost to Clermont County, as said child qualifies for Medicaid, effective for the period of 7/8/2020 through 7/7/2021, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions specified therein.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 4. Do I have a motion for approval?
I make the motion.
Second.
Been moved and received a second. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Humphrey.
Aye.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes. Item number 5.
Good morning, Craig Resner, County Engineer's Office. Item number 5 is a recommendation of Jeremy Evans, County Engineer, concurrence of Thomas Eigel, County Administrator, to execute record plat number 6293223 for the replats of lots in the following subdivision located in Batavia Township. The subdivision name is Cedar Ridge Estates, Block A, Section 1, replat of Lot 15, and the purpose is to extinguish a portion of an effluent and a private drainage easement.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 5. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
A second.
Been moved and received a second. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Humphrey.
Aye.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes. Item number 6.
Item 6 is a recommendation of Jeremy Evans, County Engineer, to approve the request to initiate procedures to vacate a portion of Poplar Street, Township Road 1126, situated in Miami Township, pursuant to Section 5553.04 of the Ohio Revised Code. And further, resolved to authorize the clerk of the board to place a legal notice in the Clermont Sun for 2 consecutive weeks, commencing Thursday, August 20th, 2020, designated a date and time of the viewing and a date and time and location of the final hearing for the proposed vacation, thereon pursuant to Section 5553.05 of the Ohio Revised Code. The viewing and final hearing on the proposed vacation for a portion of Poplar Street, Township Road 1126 in Miami Township, to be held on Wednesday, September 16th, with the viewing at 9 a.m. local time and the final hearing at 11 a.m. local time at the office of the Board of County Commissioners.
Before we move on, Craig, I noticed that you gave the date as September the 16th. What we have here on the agenda states September 17th.
It is the 16th, sir.
It is the 16th?
It is the 16th.
All right.
Well, oops.
And then, Board, I would ask for a motion on that amended resolution.
I make a motion to amend the date on the resolution from September the 17th to September the 16th, 2020.
And to approve the resolution.
And approve the resolution, yes.
And I'll second.
It's been moved and received a second on the amended resolution. The date should be September 16th. Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Humphrey.
Aye.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes. Item number 7.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Craig.
Good morning, I'm Lyle Bloom, Director with the Clermont County Water Resources Department, and item number 7 is a recommendation to execute maintenance bonds in the amounts outlined for the installation of water and sanitary sewer main extensions. This is to serve the Derby Place Section 2 Block B in Batavia Township. The water bond is in the amount of $1,600, and the sewer bond is in the amount of $3,600.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 7. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
A second.
Been moved and received a second. Any further conversation or questions for Lyle? Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Humphrey.
Aye.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes. Item number 8.
Item 8 is a recommendation to award the bid for project number 6401-60158. This is relative to the Glendale and Glenvilla Water Main Replacement Project located in Union Township, pursuant to the plans and specifications to Howe Contractors Incorporated out of Walton, Kentucky, for their lowest and best bid received on July 2nd, 2020, for a total amount not to exceed $648,890 and to execute the contract relative thereto, pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein, and the award of bid therefore, and contingent upon the release of the required purchase order. So this project involves replacing about 4,400 feet of existing 6-inch water main that was installed in 1958 and 1968. It will all be replaced with 8-inch water main. The low bid is about 93% of the engineer's estimate.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 8. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
It's been moved and received a second. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Humphrey.
Aye.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes. Item number 9.
Item 9 is a recommendation to award the bid for project number 6402-60174 relative to the Dublin Drive Sewer Replacement Project located in Miami Township pursuant to the plans and specifications to Majors Enterprises out of Monroe, Ohio, for the lowest and best bid received on June 18th, 2020, for a total amount not to exceed $78,000, and to execute the contract relative thereto pursuant to and in compliance with the terms and conditions set forth therein, and award of bid therefore, and contingent upon the release of the required purchase order. This project involves replacing about 50 feet of existing sewer line and some point repairs and lateral repairs. The sewer was originally installed in 1975. It's vitrified clay pipe. Portions of it had collapsed. There was an attempted repair done back in the 90s. But this project will go in and do a complete repair of this. And this is between Dublin and Jeb Stewart. It's on Dublin between Jeb Stewart and Mount Vernon. And the low bid is about 81% of the engineer's estimate.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 9. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
I'll second.
Been moved and received a second. Any further conversation? Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Humphrey.
Aye.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes. Thanks, Lyle. Item number 10.
I'll get it. Item number 10 is appointment to the Convention and Visitors Bureau, that the Board of County Commissioners resolved to appoint Nick Baker of Unita Drive in Milford to serve on the Board of Trustees of the Clermont County Convention and Visitors Bureau to succeed the unexpired term of Jerry Yates, who was unable to complete his term, effective for the term of August 12, 2020 through September 1st, 2021.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 10 for an appointment to the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
It's been moved and received a second. Any further conversation or discussion? I believe Nick has served on the Convention and Visitors Bureau previous to this.
Yes.
And because of a reassignment to a different location, he had to leave that board.
That's
and
correct.
now he's being assigned back to Holiday Inn East. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Anything further? Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Yes.
Commissioner Humphrey.
Aye.
Commissioner Painter.
Yes. And before we move on to item number 11, Greg, is there still one more appointment that's needed on the Convention and Visitors Bureau?
I believe you took care of that at the last meeting.
Did we take care of
This
that?
was a
did.
follow-up for the individual who could no longer serve.
Okay.
And Nick got brought back in, so we are
Yes.
100%
Good on that.
full on the
The
convention.
board appointed Jim Collins last week,
I
sir.
thought so. Okay. All right, item number 11.
Hello, Commissioners. Michael McNamara from the Department of Community and Economic Development. This is in regard to disposition of appointment to serve on the Board of Directors of the Clermont County Port Authority. I have a recommendation to John Walliver to serve in that capacity, and I have a resolution if you'd like for me to read that in. Okay. Recommendation of Michael McNamara, Director of the Clermont County Department of Community and Economic Development, that the Board of County Commissioners resolve to appoint John Walliver to serve on the Board of Directors of the Clermont County Port Authority to succeed the unexpired term of Rex Parsons, effective for the term of 8/12/2020 through 8/19/2022.
Board, you've heard the reading of the resolution for appointment to the Board of Directors of the Port Authority for John Walliver. Do I have a motion for approval?
Make that motion.
A second.
Been moved and received a second. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Humphrey?
Aye.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes, and congratulations, Mr. Walliver, on your appointment.
Thank you.
Item number 12. Morning, Sandy.
Can't hear, I assume we're on item 12.
We are.
Yes.
Good morning. Item 12 is a recommendation of Greg Bickford, Assistant County Administrator, with the concurrence of Thomas J. Eigel, County Administrator, to amend Appendix 4.09 of the Personnel Policy and Procedure Manual with respect to the county's classification plan. This is to amend the pay range for the Information Systems Department Director from a pay range E to F, and to update the Internet links and dependencies accordingly. And I would add, Commissioners, that this pay range is, the recommended pay range F is the pay range that has been listed on the position description, which has been signed off on the incumbent. So it's kind of to correct that because it wasn't appropriate on the classification plan. But that incumbent was paid within that range as well.
Okay. Board, you've heard the reading of item number 12.
Slightly higher than E.
Please.
Is F higher than E?
F is higher than E, yes.
Thank you.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 12 for a classification change. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Then moved and received a second. Any further conversation? Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes.
Commissioner Humphrey?
Aye.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you,
you.
Sandy. Item number 13. Hi, Mary.
Mary Rainey, MD. Item 13 is a recommendation to change the 2020 appropriations in the Workers' Compensation Fund by $1,550,613, and that is for the dividends and rebates to the departments to be distributed. Health Insurance Fund for $637,000, and that's in order to place the money to repay some debt they have to general fund. And then appropriation changes in Comm Center. We're reducing the bargaining unit by $80,000 and the fringes by $91,000, and that is to increase the other expenses by $312,000 for maintenance on the communications equipment.
Board, you've heard the reading of item number 13 for some supplemental appropriations and appropriation changes for the calendar year 2020. Do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
A second.
Then moved and received a second. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Humphrey?
Aye.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes. Thank you, Mary.
Board, would you like an update from Mary?
Absolutely, Mary. Before you leave, would you give us an update on what the finances of the county look like?
Well, we don't have a whole lot of firm information right now, but we do have the casino receipts for the second quarter from the state, and they're 33% down for the second quarter. We brought in just over 45,000, where normally it's over 600,000 for the quarter. But then July, when we look at the per diems, we're pretty much returned to pre-pandemic levels, thanks to Toledo and Cleveland, our northern neighbors. Columbus and Cincinnati still are not quite there, but it's starting to look up like they're back to their normal business as usual. And then on the preliminary non-auto sales tax that we received from the state for July, the county is showing up 11%. The state overall is up 8%. So those numbers won't actually be distributed and certified until September.
Okay.
Right now, we're looking at, this is comparison to last month for June, which were the May sales were up 4%. We should get those numbers next week to see how that really turned out. So basically, boils down to when originally we were looking at 10 to 15% reduction when this pandemic started, but right now we're closer to a 5% reduction.
So much better than originally.
Much better than originally. Now that's saying we're not going to see any more disruptions when schools go back and all that other
So,
But it says everything to really how strong the economy was before the pandemic.
right,
To where, not only was that first quarter much better than what the projections were, that first quarter has made the ability to offset some of these losses, and then the return has been right back into
right.
a better situation than budgeted. So
Yes, it has.
I think 5% is manageable.
We're very hopeful.
You bet. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Mary.
That's encouraging news.
We'll keep an eye on it.
You bet.
All right.
Thanks so much. That concludes our regular agenda as presented, and I would move to E. Are there any additions to the agenda?
Not at this time.
Okay. And then do we still need an executive session or not?
My understanding, we do not need that executive session.
Okay. So the next thing we have up is an 11 o'clock public meeting? Is
Correct.
that correct?
Yes, sir.
So is there a need to recess until 11 o'clock?
What I would suggest, since we have plenty of time, moving on to H, I do have two staff members that would like to bring some items to your attention, since we have
Okay.
time.
Then I'd modify the agenda and move to H. Are there any county staff elected official discussions? Let's do that.
Start with Lyle Bloom,
Okay.
Director of Water Resources. He has a request as part of that USDA grant we received from Newtonsville. There are some forms that need to be signed by the board that's going to require your authorization, but Lyle can explain it.
Okay.
Morning, as Mr. Bickford alluded, this is relative to the two Newtonsville projects. It's project number 6402-60116 and 6402-60117. And that's the Newtonsville Collection System Assessment and Newtonsville Wastewater Treatment Plant projects. We have two USDA grants and two USDA loans associated with those projects. And they've, the USDA has sent an additional document that needs to be signed. It's a certified list of the governing board, excuse me. And it essentially just lists the three board members, their title on the board, vice president, president, and member, your terms, and it lists your work numbers. USDA said that this document's necessary really to validate signatures at closing, and it's important because they're starting to handle more of these meetings and closings remotely, so they need a document to validate your signatures. At the bottom of the document, it requires an additional certification. And they've asked that the president of the board signs at the bottom and the clerk of the board signs and certifies at the bottom. And again, that's just associated with the Newtonsville projects. So we just need a motion, and essentially to that effect, to authorize signature of this document.
Okay. So, board, I'd ask for a motion for us to be able to approve and provide signatures on the document for the Newtonsville project as described by Lyle just now.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
It's been moved and received a second. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Painter, I'm sorry, does this need to be an add-on prior to?
You're
Oh,
right.
yes.
You're right.
Thank you.
You're right. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you
Good.
know that. So, Lyle, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and ask for a motion to, well, first of all, I'll ask for Commissioner Humphrey and Commissioner Corcoran to withdraw their motion and second.
I withdraw it.
Okay?
Withdraw.
Those have been withdrawn. So I'll ask for a motion now to add our consideration for signatures, and it's a USDA document, Lyle, is that correct?
Correct.
To the USDA document as described by Lyle. Do I have a motion to add it to the agenda?
I'll make the motion to add it to the agenda.
Second.
Been moved and received a second. Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Corcoran,
Yes.
Commissioner Humphrey,
Aye.
Commissioner Painter,
Yes. It's now been added to the agenda. Now I'd ask for a motion for us to be able to provide review and certification of the USDA document for the Newtonsville wastewater treatment facility as described by Lyle.
So moved.
I'll second.
Been moved and received a second. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Humphrey?
Aye.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes. Okay. Next one.
Next one, we have Mike McNamara wants
Thanks, Lyle.
just update the board on our CARES Act small business program.
Okay.
Commissioners, Michael McNamara from Community and Economic Development. Mentioned at the last meeting about the Small Business Relief Initiative that we are looking to start, and we have a little bit more form to that. So we have approximately $200,000 to open up for small business relief. Since we first mentioned the possibility of this, we have received some interest from the community, so we believe it will be a popular program, so to speak. And what some of the parameters of the program will be micro grants in the amount of either $2,500 or $5,000. $2,500 will be available to businesses between 1 and 10 employees. $5,000 will be available for businesses of 11 to 50 employees, and of course more than 50 will not qualify for small business. It must be located in Clermont County, must be a business that's been active since January of 2019, and it must have experienced has to demonstrate an impact of the pandemic. So those are the major components of qualification for the program. It will be available first come, first serve, and if once approved next week, we plan on marketing it so that everybody knows when the opening date and time will be, and we will accept applications either electronically or by fax, by personal delivery to the office, and that way all those can be time stamped, and we know when they come in, and we can verify who is in line for that, and then we'll verify that they qualify for the program, for the initiative. They will be evaluated by our department, and if they qualify, and this the finance committee has had input into developing this, and we developed this based on how many other counties throughout the state have been developing their small business relief initiatives, and so it is subject to some tweaking between now and next week. One of those tweaks might be qualifying. Right now, as it currently stands, if you're receiving any other funds for relief, you wouldn't qualify for this initiative. However, the goal is to make sure that we're not double paying for qualifying events. So if you have expenses that have not been assisted through other assistance that's available out there, then you may still qualify for this initiative. And so once we work through that detail, I think we'll have a final product ready for you next week.
And Michael, other requirements on there, obviously good standing as far as taxes and all those kind of things. Is that all part of the verification?
Yes, Commissioner. There's also a list of ineligible small businesses. So those 8 ineligible small businesses would also be anything that's adult entertainment, bank, savings and loan, or a credit union, e-commerce only company. So we want to make sure that they're an established company within our borders. Liquor, wine store, vaping store, tobacco store, cannabis dispensary, and a franchise business that's not locally owned and independently operated in Clermont County. And then we also go into eligible expenses. So only certain expenses will be eligible, and those expenses are outlined in the plan. They would include items like mortgage costs, rent or lease, utilities, salaries, materials and supplies, and the other items that are listed in the initiative.
And we would list this as the first round of this type of relief for small businesses. We could anticipate that we get a second round. Maybe the HEALS Act provides more funds.
Yes, sir. We currently have it nimble so that we can, if additional funding becomes available, we can make additional rounds available as well.
Okay. And this program will be reviewed by the prosecutor's office?
That's correct.
All right.
Mr. McNamara, may I ask you also, are employees of this county or eligible, will they be ineligible also?
Well, employees, if their business would otherwise qualify,
Yes.
I will run that past the prosecutor for.
I would assume that, but I just wanted to make sure that we clarify it first, please.
My assumption would be just the opposite, so we need a clarification.
We'll vet that with the prosecutor.
Thank you, I appreciate
Okay.
that.
Any other questions for Mr. McNamara?
Oh, no.
Mike, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for jumping on that so quickly, and thanks to the Finance Committee for, helping out with that.
Thank you.
It's our intention to do everything that we can for, counties, villages, cities, and small business here in Clermont County. Okay? Thank you. Any other county staff or elected official discussion?
Not that I'm aware of.
None. Okay. Well, then, I would ask for a motion to recess our meeting until 11 o'clock, at such time that we will have a public hearing on the proposed vacation of a portion of Dino Lane situated within Stone Lake Township. Do I have a motion to recess?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Been moved and received a second. Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes.
Commissioner Humphrey?
Aye.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes, we will stand in recess until 11 a.m. Thank you. Board, I'd like to call this meeting from recess back into general session. And we have reached the time and the place for a public hearing today to request to vacate a portion of Ladina Lane in Stone Lake Township pursuant to Chapter 5553 of the Ohio Revised Code. If anyone present has not signed in, please do so on our official record back here at my right. I understand we have a county engineer's report today from Craig Reisner, the deputy surveyor. Craig, could you take care of that for us?
Good afternoon, Craig Reisner, County Engineer's Office. Today we have a proposed vacation for a portion of Ladina Lane located in Stone Lake Township. The length of the proposed vacation is 230 feet, the area being 0.264 acres. Per your request, I reviewed a plat description for a petition received by the Board of County Commissioners April 23rd, 2020 for a vacation of a portion of Ladina Lane. This is dedicated right-of-way as it appears in Plat Book H, page 55 of the Clermont County Recorder's Office. The proposed vacation will not reduce the Stone Lake Township ODOT road mileage certification. It would, however, landlock three parcels, 30, 45, 45, 18, 19, and 20. My recommendation was that the board consider this vacation contingent to receiving a replat, deeds, and recording fees to combine these parcels to remedy the landlocking issue. All those documents have been provided. So if the board chooses to approve this vacation, we do have all the documents necessary to remedy any landlocked parcel issue. Ladina Lane is off of Olive Branch Stone Lake Road. It is a dedicated right-of-way, but the road was never improved to meet the standards for the county, so it is not being maintained by the township. That's why it does not have a township road number and is not considered a township road. We had a viewing today at 9 a.m. Commissioner Corcoran and Commissioner Painter were in attendance. We had one resident, Patricia Cupp, attended the viewing. The county engineer's office has not received any further correspondence concerning this vacation.
Thank you, Craig. Do we have any proponent testimony on the request to vacate this portion of Ladina Lane located in Stone Lake Township? Hearing none, do we have any opponent testimony of the request to vacate a portion of Ladina Lane located in Stone Lake Township? No one in attendance? Let me just ask, is there anyone else who would like to comment on the request to vacate Ladina Lane in Stone Lake Township? We don't have anyone by virtual and no one next door, okay? Just to make an acknowledgement for the record of any correspondence received relative to the request to vacate this portion. Holly, have you received anything?
I have not received any correspondence. I did want to verify, Craig had mentioned Patricia Cupp attended today, did she attend in favor of, did he? Okay.
She did. She
Okay.
was in favor.
Okay, thank you.
Is that your understanding, Craig?
Yes, Patricia Cupp was in favor of the vacation.
I just wanted it on the record for clarification. Thank you.
Anything else to come before this public hearing? Commissioner Humphrey or Commissioner Corcoran, any questions, comments?
Nothing.
Okay. Then I would close the public hearing. If subsequent to this public hearing, the Board of County Commissioners wants to proceed with that request to vacate this portion, we have a resolution that's been prepared here today. So I would ask that we add this resolution. The resolution is 13520. Resolution determining to vacate a portion of Ladina Lane in Stone Lake Township. Do I have a motion to add it to today's agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Been moved and received a second. Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes.
Commissioner Humphrey?
Aye.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes. Board, we've added a resolution. The resolution is it's a recommendation to adopt resolution number 135-20, determining to vacate a portion of Dino Lane in Stone Lake Township, Clermont County, Ohio, as described therein, pursuant to and in compliance with section 5553.04 of the Ohio Revised Code. And this resolution is contingent upon the presentation and execution of a consolidated plat of parcels, which includes PIN 304545.017, PIN 304545.018, and PIN 304545.019, and PIN 304545.020, and the 0.264 acre parcel created by the reference vacation, thus eliminating those parcels that would be landlocked therein. Do I have a motion for approval of the resolution to vacate?
I make the motion. Wasn't present.
I'll second. Any further conversation or discussion? Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes?
Commissioner Humphrey?
Abstain.
Okay. That concludes that add-on. Are there any other add-ons that we need to consider today?
No, sir.
Huh? Okay. And it's still my understanding that there is, item G is eliminated. There is no executive session today.
Correct.
Okay. Note that, board. I'll touch on one other thing. Commissioner Humphrey, I forgot to acknowledge today that you have joined us from a off-site location and that you have attended this meeting today by virtual reality. And
Yes.
absolutely, I just wanted to make sure. I think that's pretty much standard protocol here, but just don't want anyone to not understand that you're not here, even though it looks like you're here. You know, every time we look there. Okay, I'll move to I, member comments. Board members, any comments today about today's meeting? Anything you'd like to say?
Just congratulations. Go ahead, Ed.
Go ahead.
Just congratulations to all the schools who are prepping and getting ready for the right now timeline is August 24th, getting ready to start all the schools in Clermont County and giving the parents the options of whether they're going to school or going to remain home in online education. But to all of our teachers and all the staff who are preparing for it, hats off to all of you.
I concur.
Thank you.
I did listen to the governor's conference yesterday, and I thought one thing that was interesting in there is this little tale, I guess. Mask up, back up, wash up, and clean up your surroundings.
You know, I think that's good counsel, Ed. You know, and also I believe that we're at that point where we've seen that when we took a little more diligence, we very quickly went from red back to orange. You know, numbers are starting to level out, especially here in Clermont County. You know, great job by the citizens and the business people of Clermont County. And I think we're at that point where if you understand, you know, this virus and you understand the PPE that's provided and the protocol of ensuring that, you know, you wash your hands when available and, you know, when you're going to be obviously in a crowd or, you know, you can't get 6 feet social distance, you wear appropriate PPE. I think we've come to the point to where, you know, some common sense and following the protocols and making some decisions. You know, I think that the citizens in Clermont County and the business people, they're ready to continue down the road with this and to start making life a little more normal. Would we all agree with that?
Absolutely. We're moving on.
Yes.
You bet. You bet. Well, if there are no other comments to be made, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
A second.
Then moved and received a second. Roll call, Holly.
Commissioner Humphrey?
Aye.
Commissioner Corcoran?
Yes.
Commissioner Painter?
Yes, that concludes our meeting today for August 12th, 2020. If you were watching from home, thanks for being there with us. We will see you next week, and thanks again.